friends, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Fran and today we are doing our monthly check-in on all of my journals and planner. So one very unexpected and big change happened in the month of May, so it's going to be a very interesting, this may turn out to be a very chatty update, but I'm going to go through the ones that usually go quickly first. So unfortunately for my traveler's notebook, there are no new updates since our trip to SoCal in April, so I'm not even going to open it up, but I always like to add it in case anyone is wondering. So I will link my latest traveler's notebook video up above if you haven't seen that yet. Next, my A5 notebooks. This first one is my mental health and wellness, mental wellness journal. I did finally get to add some pages to it. I was reviewing this before recording and I don't know why I skipped these 2 pages, because I think this article is already done, but I think I just wanted more space. I do have to take this notebook in small chunks because the stuff that I write in here, they weigh very heavily on me, and so when I did take the time to do a couple pages and write a couple articles down here, it took me a couple days to kind of process the truth. And the reason I have this mental wellness journal is because when I read something that really resonates with me in regards to like my healing and wholeness journey, especially since becoming a parent, I feel like writing it down in this journal helps me truly digest it in my mind and in my heart and in my spirit. And so that's why I have this journal specifically for that purpose, so that I can also look back on it, look at the dates, the journal entries, and really see how far I've come in regards to the bigger topics around my mental, emotional wellness. All right, this notebook is my A5 from Everyday Explorers Co. This is my media review, so it's anything from books, audiobooks, new TV shows, new films that we watch that I want to review. And so I started this in January of this year. I actually originally started this in a Passport TN and then decided to purchase this notebook from Everyday Explorers Co. And they did just recently come out with an actual media review journal where there's a couple more lines for you to write like your review or like the title. So I did buy it because I wanted the stamp set, but it's gonna be a while before I use the actual notebook. So those are those notebooks. Okay, and then the other thing I report on are these are my touch them when I need to or when I feel like it. And then these used to be, dun, 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 these used to be my daily touch points, but I hopped in May and I am just as shocked as you are. I wasn't planning on it. It was a very impulsive decision, but I will say, spoiler alert, for the month of May at least, I'm very happy with the jump that I made. So originally I was planning in my Hobonichi weeks and I was journaling and tracking happy things in my B6 Sterling ink full year daily planner. Now I do have to say there was absolutely nothing wrong with the Sterling ink. What the impulse that made me jump was my frustration with the Hobonichi weeks. I just was not going back to it to check things off the list as often anymore, and I think it just started happening. So I did planner hop the week of May 5. I just wasn't happy with, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the yellow paper, maybe it's the fact that I had to pull a completely different book out, but I think I am just, I don't know, because last year I was in an Aura Estelle that was my planner and journal, and I made it the whole year through that. So I wanted to try this separate planner from journal, but I'm not, especially with like trips and having a toddler, I just wasn't keeping up with the Kardashians. Just kidding. One, I wasn't even using the monthly spreads to really plan, because Jacob and I, we plan our family stuff digitally, and then we also have like an analog calendar on our fridge, which is kind of like the source of truth. So I already wasn't looking at the monthly, I wasn't keeping it up to date, and then week to week, I would always fall off on like Thursday or Friday, and then like I fell off. Yeah, so I wasn't happy. So there's nothing wrong with the sterling ink. It's just that there were some things in the weeks that I did want to keep that I did not have space for in the sterling ink, if that makes sense. So here's what I was tracking. I think, yeah, I made it that first week of May. Sorry if I say March, I'm like tripping over my words. Surprisingly, I really love this. I love this spread, but it was my last actual full spread in the weeks. So May started on a Thursday, so I will go ahead and show you this spread in case it wasn't in April's review. So as you can see, I track that week's events or reminders, and then here I try to track my workouts and movements. I track my sleep here, and then I track habits. So Miles's vitamins and bowel movements, and then my vitamins, my workout, and if I read. And then I use the second half as a to-do list. I wanted to keep this in some form, as well as a running checklist. So that's what I was trying to do. I'll give you a quick flip of the beginning of May here. So I still started May with my currently inked. Really enjoyed the inks for May and the first couple of days. And then Monday, May 5th is when I planner hop. So all these, the month that I had set up, the stickers are just a nice little relic in this one. So let me go ahead and just jump to the new book, which is a PaperTessDesigns B6 full year edition of the yearly notebook. And so this is how I have it set up. I'm gonna try to go as quickly and try to be quick and thorough. So no stickers in here yet. I decided to use this first yearly overview to move my cycle, symptoms, and sickness tracker that was formerly in the Hobonichi weeks here, as well as my inks for the year. I felt that I wanted a full view of all the inks that I use, as well as the names of the inks, so I felt like this was perfect. And so you could see my June inks are right here as well. And then for the second yearly overview, I moved my steps tracking here. So I did move the historical data, and then after committing to like highlighting the rows, I realized I could just do a little circle dot, so that way there's not too much of the ghosting for when I get to the second half of the year here. So for my steps for May, I only had one day that I was under 5K steps, and so my monthly average was 9,454 steps. So unfortunately did not increase from April, but we're gonna try again in June. All right, next, the first quarterly view. This is that traditional view that we have in a lot of these planners here, so something similar to this. So I did carry over my currently inked tracking here, so I did that for May. As you can see here, my favorites for May, let's see, I used Lennon Toolbar Sesame Oil 8 times. I used Sailor Blue Black Matcha Latte 8 times. I used Wearing Gold Dorothy 10 times, and then Hachimonjia Kubo Sakura Bloom Pink I used 5 times. So that's how it worked out here. So I'm tracking inks, and then I'm tracking my habits here. So my vitamins, did I do my walking pad exercise? Ladder is an app for strength training. So cardio walking and then strength training workout. Did I close my Apple Watch rings? did I read or listen to an audiobook, and then did I journal. So this is kind of like my physical and mental wellness tracker, because the physical stuff is like the vitamins, body movement, and then the mental wellness is the reading and journaling. So I've already assigned some inks in the month of June, so there's that. And then the other quarterly view is this calendar to grid view. And so what I decided to do here was do a mix of, you know, like dark text is birthday reminders, and then light text are like events or appointments. So if it's an event or appointment, I split this page here to list the event details here. And then on the right side, I did order Happy Meal tracking. So I did do historically because I wanted to test it out on Q1 before committing to Q2, and I really like it. So I will write the shop, I'll write the day I ordered, the day it shipped, and the day it delivered. So it's a three dates on each. And then you could see for May, I messed up. I was journaling in the dark and pulled out the purple pen instead of the brown. I don't know what, something was really wrong with my eyes, but I'm still waiting on a couple of orders. I have a pre-order from Endless Pens that I made in April, another pre-order that I made also from Endless Pens at the beginning of May, and then a Coffee Monsters Co. Pen Pal subscription also has yet to ship, and then 2 more orders. So I did make 1 order this month already that I need to add here, so I'll probably do that later this evening. And then I've basically set up the rest of the year for plans that I know we have. And then I did decide to move my monthly memories in this notebook, just since, you know, it's a very small effort to pick a sticker and write a couple of words. So I moved January, I moved February, I moved March, I moved April, and then here's May. So I'm really liking the monthly memory stickers. It's just a nice way to remember like the highlight of the day. And then sometimes it's not a happy highlight. This is the death anniversary from my mom's partner. So we were remembering him that day. So I just saved that to remember him. So with the months, they're obviously scattered throughout the planner to be bundled with the actual month. So for May, we get to blank grid. And so I did still keep my ephemera dump for the month here. So here's May's. I'll have a little spot right there. And then because I started late in May, I just used some of the extra weekly pages for the McDonald's Squishmallow and then some pizza that we picked up that month. But here is where I started in May. I don't know what I wrote there. So you get the weekly layout here, half calendar, half grid, or half horizontal calendar, half grid, and then you get 7 blank gridded pages. So I decided to date my pages because I do like having the dates down before I get there. Just 1 page per day is my thing. It works for me, but some people do it differently. All right, and then here's a quick flip of the journals for May. Here's the second week. So what I like to do with the weeks is whatever sticker kit or ink I'm gonna use, I try to just do that weekly spread using a similar color or a complementing color. And I really have enjoyed this so far for May. We went to Chili's, so I used their utensils case to do like a little window. Miles took his passport photo. This is from a coffee cup at a work event that I attended. Parking ticket, we went on a hike. Chocolate, of course. Notes from Happy Mail. Love this spread, and it's when I got my first, my Washi Wizard subscription from Coffee Monsters Co. I had to vent a little bit here, so I just used the mochi nut receipt to cover that. I think I was sick this weekend, or we had like a bunch of plans, so I just didn't journal. I kind of lost inspiration this weekend, like 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. I even wrote here, I need to be re-inspired, because when I go 2 or 3 days without journaling, I'm like, okay, something's wrong. But then obviously I eventually found my groove again. Put a tip in here. This was a busy weekend, but yeah, I still wanted to journal about it. And then now we're in June. So June is gonna be a lot of fun. I've already started the ephemera pages. We've already started journaling through the week. And I've already placed my sticker kits down for the month of June. Oh, and then last thing I'll show you about this planner is I did redo like my back page index. I'm very excited. This is an overview of my Coffee Monsters Co subscriptions. So we just did Q2, and then Q3 and 4 I'll also put the washies down here as well. I do weigh-ins for my health and fitness journey. Swatched my Uniball 1 gel pens. I literally have the same colors in 0.38 and 0.5, and then I matched them with some mild liners. And then I swatched my mild liners, I swatched my Pentel brushes. I'm doing a book tracker here of all the books and audiobooks that I'm reading this year. And then I'm keeping ink ephemera here as well. I do want to swatch the inks on these pages as well. I just haven't gotten around to it, but yeah. And then we have all these pages left to kind of play around with the rest of the year. And that is where I'm at. I'm quite happy with this book. I don't have a clear cover on it because it's a tad thicker. Well, you can't tell because this is like bulking up, but I think this one is like 480, but this one is 600 pages. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this one fares the rest of the year. But I definitely am a B6 girl, or B6 journaler, and I guess I am like an all-in-one type of girl. Like I would just like one to do my little running checklists and reminders for the week, but then also be able to journal. And going from this to this, at least for May, is going well. So we will report back at the end of June how that works. But yeah, this is basically my new planner stack, and honestly I'm not upset about it. I really like it. I will never get rid of the TN. I just love being able to document and kind of do like the scrapbooking, junk journaling type of situation. I like my traditional journaling with a little bit of ephemera here and there, and then my specialized books here as well. So let me know in a comment down below how you all did for the month of May, if you're learning anything new about your journaling and or planner preferences. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've stayed through the entirety of this video, go ahead and leave a star or sparkly emoji so I know that you stuck around. I hope to see you at the next video. I still have all my April pens that I want to swatch and review with you all, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up to support the channel, and I will see you at the next one, my friends. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye!